Hello and welcome to our podcast on open source intelligence. Myself Ashish from Bluefire Red Team. Today's guest is an experienced OSINT expert with over a decade of experience in the field. They have worked with law enforcement agencies, private investigators, and businesses to gather and analyze information. Please join me in welcoming Sujit, an OSINT expert with a wealth of knowledge to share. Now, please keep note of things as he has a habit of sharing a lot of crucial learnings.
Thank you, Ashish and Jay, for having me on this podcast. It's my pleasure to be part of this prestigious podcast. My name is Sujit, and I'm an OSINT researcher, and it's been around 10 years that I am researching in open source intelligence.
Sujit, where do you work and what does your daily job looks like?
I currently work at Boom. So Boom is a fact-checking independent journalist company that specializes in misinformation and disinformation tracking, and we actually track fake news, misinformation, disinformation, and we actually debunk them, and we do stories. I actually start my day in total surprise. I exactly don't know what I'm going to investigate. So it's the first few hours of the day that actually make me realize, so okay, this is what I'm going to do today.
I would like to ask you that how did you got started into cybersecurity?
I started my journey in cybersecurity. So I was basically doing engineering, and I was introduced to cybersecurity through an ethical hacking workshop. And later on, I developed my interest in ethical hacking a lot. So I became certified ethical hacker, and later on, I got into cyber forensics, where I was involved in investigating cyber crimes. So basically, you know that in cyber forensics, we actually investigate the devices which has been subjected to cyber crimes. So basically, pen drives, hard drives, laptops, any device that's been a part of cyber crime is to be investigated. So I was into that. So later on, I needed to push my investigation skills more, and then later on, I got introduced to this field called open source intelligence, which at that time was actually in a starting phase. OSINT in cybersecurity was not that much of a big deal back then. But yeah, I actually liked the idea of OSINT a lot. So I thought, yeah, why not?
सुजीत, हमारे लिसनर्स को बता सकते हो कि ओसिंट क्या होता है?
So according to me, I like to explain OSINT as an art. मैं समझता हूँ कि OSINT एक आर्ट है जिसमें हम ऑनलाइन जो ओपनली अवेलेबल सोर्सेस में से हम इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर करते हैं, एंड वी कन्वर्ट दैट इंफॉर्मेशन इनटू actionable intelligence. The idea of open source intelligence is actually breaking the limits of investigation and increasing your skills to the entire internet.
What are some of the key tools and techniques that OSINT professionals use to gather information?
I want to say to the beginners is that, don't go behind the tools basically, because at some point or the other you will be introduced to a lot of tools, but the important thing is the concept. The first thing that you need to be part of OSINT is the drive that you drive to do an investigation, the love for mystery, and the interest to investigate any mystery. Okay, so that's the biggest thing that you need. And regarding the tool, so I would actually suggest the beginners to go with search engines like Google, Yandex, and many other search engines that's available online. So each search engine has its own demerits and merits. So basically, normal search engine, you can start with Google, because Google has all these search operators and all. And if you want to go with social medias, then go with Facebook and Twitter. So that's the basic thing that I would suggest any beginners to start doing OSINT.
Now that we know that Boom is related to journalism, what does your work procedure at Boom look like?
It starts with the monitoring. So we monitor the internet a lot, and we are specialized in tracking misinformation and fake news. So yeah, I mean, we track the disinformation on a daily basis, and we monitor the internet, and based on the virality of the fake videos or fake claims that's going around, we try to debunk it. So debugging actually has various procedures. I cannot like put into one bucket like these are the methods that we use for debugging. So it includes a lot of different types of methods. Yeah.
For example, if I get a forwarded message, how can I validate that the information is correct?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so first of all, when a piece of information comes in front of us, so we actually look into it in a skeptic way. Basically, when you are an OSINT researcher, it is, it's your responsibility to be unbiased towards the information that you're looking, right? So that's the biggest thing that you have to learn. That, I mean, it's hard to learn, but over the time when you're practicing OSINT, you will actually, it becomes a second nature to you that, you look at the information without any bias. So that's the first thing. And after that, we actually try to find different sources of the information, that where this information has come to us. So for example, if it's a Twitter post, so we actually look for the source, that from where this information has the origin from, and we look for a credible sources. So credible sources include various types of sources, like for example government sources and many other like credible media sources that has reported the same incident in the past. So basically most of the incidents that we see online, like disinformation as a whole, is most of them are actually old videos, old imageries, etc., etc.
सुजित, जब आप कोई इंफॉर्मेशन फाइंड या वैलिडेट करते हैं तो क्या उसका कोई फिक्स पैटर्न होता है जिससे पता चल सके कि वो इंफॉर्मेशन एक्यूरेट और रिलायबल है?
Exact pattern तो मुश्किल है, because if you want like step by step methods or in OSINT, it's hard. OSINT is like a fluid, like it doesn't have a fixed shape or things like that. Everything is not fixed in OSINT, so you have to play with the skills that you have. So basically, looking anything as a puzzle is the thing that I do. I mean, that's my thing. That may not be similar to others, OSINT researchers, but as far as I'm concerned, whenever something comes to me, so I look it as a puzzle to be solved. So I access the information that's in front of me, and I try to verify it using different means. So I cannot fill it into certain steps and certain methods to the listeners or listening to this podcast. But I can give you one example about how we go through the process. So this is one of my favorite stories that I have done. So basically, the recent China and India clash that happened in Taiwan. So regarding that, so Ashish and Jay, I think you guys know this old research done by BBC Africa, where they they geolocated a video using the mountain alignment. So it was basically shooting. The terrorists killing a lady and a child. So BBC Africa located this video using the mountain alignment which was available in the video itself. Okay, so they were able to locate it. So this video was viral during China-Taiwan clash, and a particular video was viral, and nobody was able to debunk it. I mean, everybody was having this feel that this might be recent and all. But yeah, I mean, like I told you, when any information, be it imagery or be it text or be it any form, we look at it with really skeptic eyes. And looking into the video, so many things were actually, clear. We came to know the mountain alignment. There was a river, so there was a certain mountain alignment that I was looking at, and the weather was different. So all those things combined. So I was able to match the mountain alignment using different methods, and I was able to locate the location of the video. So and later on, from comparing the weather condition that we can see in the video and the weather condition that was going on currently at Tawang, so we were able to establish that this video was not recent, and it was some old video which was actually viral.
Good to know that, Sujit. Recently, I was reading a blog post where a researcher attempted to distinguish between a fake edited photo and a real one. He marked specific points in both pictures and used his custom automation tool for differentiation. He achieved an accuracy of 90%.
So, with respect to this, Sujit, do you have any perspective or anything to say how people do such stuff and how automation can level up the game for OSINT researchers?
Automation has always been a good companion for OSINT researchers. So even though there are like OSINT researchers like me who likes, like semi-automated approach to OSINT, because what happens is that I personally believe that, if we automate everything and depend upon automation, there can be certain aspects of an investigation that could derail, so there are certain things in an investigation that we have to do it manually, or which can be done perfectly using manual methods. But yeah, I mean, when the manual methods become too tedious, so it is always good to go to automation, and automation actually saves a lot of time and saves a lot of the filtering process that we do during an OSINT research. So yeah, regarding the fake images and all, so recently with the introduction of AI in the mainstream, in the line between fake and real is getting really blurred. And there was a time that we were able to look at an image and just with our naked eyes we were able to distinguish between a fake image and a real image, because there will be some different changes in the symmetry of the object that we are looking at. But with the introduction of the AI, like AI tools like Midjourney and DALL-E, day by day is getting hard to distinguish between fake and real. So I think it's high time that OSINT researchers or security analysts in general start using artificial intelligence for good.
एज्यूम करते हैं कि कोई वीडियो किसी भी सोशल मीडिया पे, लेट से ट्विटर पे अपलोड हुई और उसका रीशेयर हो गया. अब जिसने भी अपलोड की उसने अपना अकाउंट डिलीट कर दिया. जब वो वीडियो आपके पास आती है तो आप कैसे पता करते हो कि वो वीडियो फेक है या रिसेंट है, या किस तरीके से उसका डेटा वैलिडेट होता है?
सो इस केस में जो मेथड होगी वो ये रहेगी कि वी हैव टू मेक ए डिसीजन दैट मेक ए एनालिसिस इन द फर्स्ट इटसेल्फ दैट व्हाट इज द एग्जैक्ट सोर्स, आई मीन फॉर एग्जांपल आपने बोला कि जो ट्वीट आया था वीडियो का वो डिलीट हो गया एंड वो रीशेयर हो गया, ठीक है. तो हो सकता है कि वो ट्वीट से पहले भी ये वीडियो ट्विटर पे आया हो या फिर दूसरे सोशल मीडिया से दूसरे सोर्सेज के थ्रू इंटरनेट में आया हो. सो हमारा पहला ये काम तो यही रहेगा कि वी हैव टू लुक फॉर अदर सोर्सेज. सो वी हैव टू मेक ए वेरिफिकेशन इन दैट angle that there are no other sources of the video before confirming a particular source is the origin, right? एक origin point को डिसाइड करने से पहले हमें ये प्रूव करना रहेगा कि वो इंफॉर्मेशन का अलग अलग सोर्सेज है या नहीं. अगर है तो कितना पुराना सोर्स है, राइट? तो इस केस में अगर जो वो डिलीटेड ट्वीट से भी पुराना कोई सोर्स है तो दैट शुड बी द ओरिजिन पॉइंट ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन वी हैव टू कंसिडर, and later on we can build up our investigation from that point.
Okay, Sujit, good learning there. Let's go back a few minutes where you mentioned that you don't solely rely on tools and believe in using manual approaches. So, do you mean that individuals who are starting out in cybersecurity, to be specific, OSINT, should develop their mindset first and then incorporate tools in their methodology?
Yeah, I mean, Ashish, what I mean is that, even in cybersecurity, we have this group of people called script kiddies. Everybody who starts in cybersecurity starts from the level of script kiddies. They start from noob, then at some point they become script kiddies, and later on they, evolve from that level, right? And we try to, find our own domains, and do research in that. So basically, the script kiddie thing is not just for cybersecurity; it's in open source intelligence as well. Automated tools and tools are good. I mean, the point is that it's not good for beginners. The tools that we use in open source intelligence, it can be very lucrative. For example, XYZ tool is there, and you came to know that okay, this tool performs this task, and okay, you can use this to automate it. The thing is that until unless you don't know exactly how this tool is working, that can be counterproductive for your research actually, because if you're dealing with sensitive research or sensitive investigation, so something bad can happen by using these online freely available tools. Your privacy can be void. I mean, OPSEC is a really big deal when it comes to highly sensitive in OSINT research. So you cannot destroy your OPSEC. So you have to maintain your operational security at any point. So at that level, if you are trusting too much on the tools, so that's a big no-no. I'm not saying that tools should not be used. Tools should be used, but from in the beginning level, do it manually. So for example, for Google search and all, so there are tools like in GitHub you can actually just start using, which actually can give you prompt about operators and all, and you can do it. But that's not the way you learn Google operators. You learn by using the operators, like what are the combinations of the operators that you can use, what are the types of information that you can get from the operation, using those operators. So that's actually fun, and it's a lot learning also. You can, so that's the way any beginner should start.
क्या ओसिन के कुछ टाइप्स होते हैं? जैसे मैंने पढ़ा है कि ह्यूमेंट होता है, जियोइंट होता है, तो और कोई टाइप्स होता है?
So yeah, OSINT is more like an umbrella term in today's scenario. So जिसमें हम अलग अलग इंफॉर्मेशन गैदरिंग मेथड्स हम लोग यूज़ कर सकते हैं. सो बेसिकली OSINT आपका जो इन्वेस्टिगेशन रहता है, सो उसमें आप क्या क्या मेथड्स यूज़ करते हो, वो आपके जो इन्फॉर्मेशन टाइप है उस पर डिपेंड करता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आपके सामने कोई इमेज आता है, then all the methods that you will be doing is more like image intelligence. You're trying to find information from the image using that image, right? So you're doing reverse image searches and things like that. So more of that will be involved. So if you're getting some video, so another type of methods will be used, where if the video is of a certain location or something, so you will be trying to locate that video, right? So depends upon the type of information. For example, if some website is coming in front of you, so you will be on a different method, or doing a different method to investigate that thing. So it actually depends upon the nature of the data. आपका डाटा का जो नेचर है उस पर डिपेंड करता है कि आपके इन्वेस्टिगेशन का मेथड्स किस तरह से आप शुरू करोगे या फिर डिफाइन करोगे. So like I told you, OSINT doesn't have any set of methods or set of rules. It's just a concept, and as a OSINT researcher, you should be able to define the steps of investigation after you are introduced into the mystery that you're looking for.
Okay, can you tell me how do you stay updated in your field? Where can people get updates about the field? Like ऐसी कोई प्लेटफॉर्म है क्या?
ट्विटर में आपको रिसर्चर्स मिल जाएंगे OSINT के, so you can start following them. Not just in Twitter, you can also find them in LinkedIn also. I mean, if you're more active in LinkedIn, so depends upon the social media that you're more active in. So even in Facebook, there are groups and all that you can actually follow.
Sujit, I have a couple of questions. What is fact checking? How do you fact check? And how can an OSINT researcher start fact checking?
It has always been in journalism. So fact checking is not something that's different from journalism. It has always been a part of journalism, where you verify some information. But due to this unfortunate events that has been going around, politically and geopolitically, so fact checking has to be a different domain, because a lot of disinformation, misinformation are going around for political gains and for other gains. So people are basically bombarded with fake informations online. So how do we do a fact check? I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky in the sense that a keen observation is involved in finding fake trends. It's not easy to just find these fake trends or disinformation that's going around online. So we have to, like, it takes a little bit of learning curve, a little bit of experience to just look at the information and just see that if something is wrong with the information, or is it false or is it true. skepticism should always be there. I mean, this is not just for researchers and investigators. Even common people who are currently looking at some news that's going around in maybe television or in the YouTube and all. So even common people should have this skepticism in their mind during the time that we are in, because disinformation has become a business. So politically has become a business. Political gains achieved using just disinformation. So there are many things like many silly claims that has been going around, which are actually false, but people actually thought that okay, this is real, this is something real. So first thing is analyzing the fake trend that's going around. Then second thing is having a skeptic mind to analyze the information. And third thing is finding the source or origin. So origin should be verified clearly, because that's the key point that distinguishes your fact check, if that's credible enough or not. Because if your origin if you cannot establish the origin, then that's actually a down point to your fact check. So how will you say that okay, this is old, or this is from here, or this is from here, if you don't have a credible source? So credible source is good, is needed. And later on we actually implement a lot of human to get quotations from related authorities, right? For example, some incident happened near some location that we're looking into, and we need more information on the data that we have, but there is not much available from the information itself. So we can actually contact the local authorities, like police stations near the location that we are looking at, and we can just check into the information about what's going around. It has been there some instance like this that we have, and what are the if that incident happened, then what are the details regarding that they can provide to us, so things like that.
Sujit, as you mentioned, that people who work in OSINT should be unbiased. However, how can one achieve impartiality when the media often portrays biased news? And why is it important for OSINT analysts to remain unbiased?
We don't want any kind of bias to hinder in the investigation. Okay, so so irrespective of the person who is doing the investigation, if your investigation is affected by the biases you have, then that's not a good research, that, because that can lead to more consequences, because you as a ocean researcher, you have the responsibility to be unbiased while doing the investigation. Because if you are not unbiased, then your investigation will have that biased touch. And that information, many people will take it as a gospel truth, and they will actually believe it, and they will think, okay, this particular ocean researcher has done it, so it must be true. So you carry a lot of burden of truth being an ocean researcher. So you cannot take a chance in doing a biased research. How I stay updated in like anything, like online. So there is this thing called Google Alert that you can start. So Google Alert will actually, you can add topics in Google Alert, and you can actually set that in such a way that every day at some particular point of time, it Google Alerts will come to your email, and you can just check your email and get updated on a daily basis about what are the things going around.
What advice would you like to share with people who want to build a career in OSINT?
So my advice would be, just be consistent, and just be motivated yourself. There will be nobody to motivate you, right? So the biggest motivation should come from within. So I think you guys know about what I am saying about. We all know each other, so we know that we all have this humble beginning, but there is no particular peak that you can climb, and you can say that you have become expert. So that's not the point. So the point is that you should have this habit of learning new things, habit of exploring new things, because every week or every day something new is being introduced in this OSINT scenario, or like cybersecurity in general. So I'm talking about OSINT. So even in OSINT also, new things are being developed, new methods are being developed. So you have to stay updated. So staying updated, staying motivated, staying curious, and staying like madly in love with OSINT is really important. All these things are important, and also taking care of the mental health. So that's the biggest thing that you have to take care, like, because for example, like, when we were doing OSINT, I mean, Jay, I guess, like, Ashish also, like, we used to do extensive OSINT when we back in the days, we will have another podcast, maybe if possible, on those things. But yeah, we used to do extensive open source intelligence, and we used to spend hours and hours doing OSINT. But yeah, but those things have backfired each one of us in different ways, a side effect of OSINT. I mean, we were so interested, and we were so much deep into open source intelligence and this investigation and all, like Sherlock Holmes, things. We were bombarded constantly with a lot of information. So that's the biggest demerit of OSINT. So you have this huge chunks of information coming your way, and your brain is constantly exposed to unwanted information that is online, be it violence, be it hate. Basically in my field, I had to deal with a lot of violence and lot of religious communal hate that's going around online. So it's always important to take care of the mental health, because you should always save yourself from like vicarious trauma. It's not the point of saving yourself from it, but at some point you will experience this trauma, this vicarious trauma. It's at some point you will experience if you're doing OSINT for some certain period of time continuously. So at that time, mental health should be a great consideration, and you should actually take care of your health. I mean, you should just decide to move, decide to stay away from the investigation for a while. Just enjoy with your friends, and with your family, spend some time with your family, and do some other stuff, do some learning rather than doing investigations. Although you will be prompt to do investigations, but have a full stop for a few days, for a week or 2 weeks or something, and do some small learning at that point of time. Just enjoy your time. So, and in the end, just enjoy the process of investigation. That's it. I mean, you are not supposed to do anything that you don't love. So if you're doing OSINT and you're loving it, then that's a big yes, that's a big plus.
Good stuff, Sujit. Thank you for sharing your insights with us today. Now, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Jay. It's my pleasure to actually be part of this podcast, and I actually look forward to do more podcasts if possible. Like, I'm really interested. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Alright, people, if you have reached this point in the podcast, well, this is the end, but just the start of our podcast series. Feel free to subscribe for more future podcasts.